Download the Fox Local app and you'll see a big difference on your phone. It lets you watch Fox 13 News and get extra content anytime, anywhere.
Fox 13's Prime Time is sponsored locally by the Florida State Fair.
Will it be sunny or stormy? Get your full forecast every day on Good Day.
It's been cold, it's been dry, and now the risk of wildfires is growing. The urgent message from local officials. Plus, the search continues for Savannah Guthrie's mother. The new reports of what else investigators found inside her home. And a historic moon mission delayed. What went wrong this time? We've got an update from NASA today at 4.
From Tampa Bay's #1 news station, this is the Fox 13 4 o'clock news.
Well, the temperatures might be low, but our risk of wildfires is high. The dangers across Florida and the warning from local officials.
Plus, moving the Rays to Tampa, why the governor and the league are throwing their support behind the plan. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Linda Hurtado.
And I'm Chris Cato. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but once again, we start with the weather.
Yeah, it warmed up a bit today, but we once again have frost advisories tonight, so let's get right to Valerie Mills.
Yeah, 3 nights in a row where we have been dealing with hard freeze advisories. Scenes like this across a lot of the area. Frozen strawberry fields, this over in Plant City, with another round of frost advisories up tonight through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, though we see those starting to recede a bit farther north. So we're really just talking inland Citrus and Hernando counties included in those. That extends up 75 into Gainesville, right around the Palatka area and just to the south of Daytona Beach. So we will be tracking some areas of patchy frost even outside of those areas, as we will have plenty of 30s scattered on the map for all of our inland spots. But look at low temperatures tonight. We're talking more so 30s and 40s compared to the 20s and 30s we've been dealing with the last couple of nights. So it is still going to be cold, 10 degrees at least below average, but it sure has been feeling nice out there today. Look at high temperatures rebounding back into the 60s all across the area. Hopefully you're enjoying it. So we've got a really nice evening ahead. Look at the view in Tampa. Nothing but sunshine right now. Clear skies. Most of this evening will be spent in the 50s, then dropping into the 40s later on tonight. But our next cold front is on the way. You see where it is right now, bringing some rain to Tennessee, into Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama as well. This is on the way for us tomorrow into Thursday, bringing our next round of some colder temperatures. We'll talk details on that in just a couple of minutes.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thanks, Val. And that cold weather has increased the risk of wildfires across the state. In Northport yesterday, a 5-acre fire quickly grew to about 60 acres before firefighters got it under control. Crews have still been at the scene, actually, to make sure no hotspots flare up. Fox 13's Kimberly Quizon has more on why fire officials say this year could be very active for fires. Kimberly, thank you. Meanwhile, in Highlands County, a 1,000-acre fire is burning on the south end of the Avon Park Air Force Range, and that's causing smoke to drift into nearby communities. Crews are working now to contain that fire.
The governor is lending his political weight to the Rays' vision of building a stadium on the campus of Hillsborough College. He held a news conference with Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred today, saying that baseball can work in Tampa Bay. They both said the new ownership group is forthcoming and that negotiations over how the stadium will be paid for are ongoing. Renderings of the stadium are expected to be released in the oncoming days, and a financial framework is also expected to be unveiled tomorrow at a meeting of Hillsborough County Commissioners.
That's something that the Rays are working with the local communities over. I don't know that that's been finalized by any stretch, and obviously there'll be discussion on that. But I know that they are working with that.
The Rays have already released renderings of what a new Hillsborough College campus would look like. That's expected to sit on the southwest portion of their land, which the governor says the state will work to transfer seamlessly.
The search for the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie near Tucson, Arizona, is growing more desperate by the hour. Investigators believe Nancy Guthrie was taken from her home against her will late Saturday night, and they believe her life is in jeopardy. Now, while the sheriff's office is staying tight-lipped about what they found at her home, which they're calling a crime scene, the LA Times is reporting that investigators found blood inside the home and signs of forced entry. The sheriff said Guthrie's wallet and phone were left behind, along with vital medication that he says not taking that medication could be fatal for Guthrie. Now, this afternoon, a reporter asked the sheriff if a ransom demand had come in, and this was his response.
we're following all leads we have. That's all I can tell you. We've got hundreds of leads, and it's from you that produce those leads by telling people we need help, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm not going to get into all that.
Investigators are still trying to get access to security cameras inside Guthrie's home. They're working with the companies that own the cameras, but they say it's a process, and so far they do not have any of that footage.
Well, developing out of Clearwater, Pinellas deputies say they were forced to shoot a woman early this morning. Investigators say a 911 call came in around 2 a.m. with little communication. So deputies were dispatched to Capri Drive for an unknown problem. And shortly after they arrived, they encountered 40-year-old Megan Ratcliffe, who told them that she had a gun, but kept her hands in her jacket. Well, the deputies retreated, moving behind a cruiser about 100 feet away as they tried to negotiate with her. But they say she quickly moved toward them and pulled her hand out of the jacket. That's when two deputies opened fire. Ratcliffe was struck once and rushed to the hospital for surgery. The object she pulled out of her jacket ended up being a cordless drill. And based on some of her statements to deputies, investigators believe Ratcliffe was intent on suicide by law enforcement. Both deputies are on paid administrative leave, which is standard as the investigation continues.
Now, we know the weather here in Florida can change in a minute, so it's always important to be prepared for anything. And that's why state emergency officials declared this Severe Weather Awareness Week. As Fox 13's Kaylee Tracy tells us, the message today is about rip currents.
Coming up, celebrating 100 years, the special show at Arts Center Sarasota.
You're watching Fox 13, Tampa Bay's #1 news station.
Welcome back. Arts Center Sarasota has been serving the Tampa Bay area for 100 years.
To celebrate the major milestone, members took center stage at all 4 of the galleries. Fox 13 photojournalist Barry Wong takes us inside the annual Members Showcase. 228 members have pieces in the show, and it will be on display at Arts Center Sarasota until February 21st.
Well, quite a temperature swing today, Val. I mean, it was
on the up.
Coats this morning, and you could almost go short sleeves out there this afternoon.
Yeah, we've been fully in the winter mix like the rest of the kind of eastern half of the country. And so we've got another chilly morning, but we've moved away from that real bitterly cold air. So that's some good news there. Looking a lot nicer even on the beach. I've seen a couple of people out walking, not many, but some out there braving the low 60s as it sure is looking beautiful today. We are back in sunshine, 62 right now as we look outside in Longboat Key. Still feeling these breezes coming in out of the northwest, right around 7 miles per hour for you there. So just comfortable as we are overall enjoying this nice, more mild air mass. We've had high pressure sitting right overhead, and that's just starting to slide off the east coast of Florida. But you see plenty of 60s to even low 70s spanning across the Gulf Coast. This is our next weather maker right now. We've got this low pressure system spinning over the lower Tennessee Valley, this cold front dragging through portions of Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. This is going to be bringing us our next chance for showers, some windy conditions, and cooler temperatures as we look from late Wednesday into Thursday. Temperatures right now for all of us enjoying the 60s, even near 70 degrees. Look at that, Sebring actually at 70. Almost missed you there. Just behind that, though, Lake Placid and Arcadia, upper 60s for you. 60 right now in Tampa, 63 in Brooksville, to about 62 the temperature in Sarasota. So out over the next couple of hours, clear skies, cool into the 50s for most of this evening. So as you look out in St. Pete, calm winds, moonlit skies. We're still talking near full moon conditions. So it's going to be really great out there, but cooling off quickly, mid 50s by 8 o'clock, and then we'll only bottom out right around 50 degrees into the upper 40s for areas close to the coast. So it is chilly, but much more comfortable in the mornings, at least for tomorrow and into Thursday morning, before another kind of blast of one of those colder morning temperatures will be on the way later on this week. As for temperatures tomorrow, you see the trend in the day ahead. Another round of mostly sunny skies lasting pretty much all day Wednesday, near 70 degrees. So tomorrow is actually going to be a nice warm up out ahead of the next chance for colder temperatures. So you see the rain that's already moving across portions of the deep south. We'll start to watch for this rain to arrive in North Florida by tomorrow. But most of our central Florida spots remaining dry and mild for tomorrow. Increasing clouds later in the day Wednesday does look like more so into the Wednesday night time frame, and that's the time frame we're going to start to watch for these spotty showers. So really, I think more so late Wednesday and overnight is when this round of rain is going to roll through. And notice 6 o'clock Thursday morning, mild temperatures near 60 degrees. It is going to be one of those days though, as the rain clears out during the morning hours, temperatures will start to fall and we'll be in the 40s again by around 6 o'clock on Thursday evening, and that'll be our next night where we drop down to the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So Friday morning, there's your heads up that we are going to be trekking another round of a pretty significant temperature drop for both our morning lows as well as our highs. There's a look at temperatures for tonight. Patchy frost with those frost conditions for Citrus and inland Hernando counties, 30s, 40s for most of us, near 50 degrees for our coastal spots. And then temperatures tomorrow, a couple of upper 60s, but many of us able to hit the low 70s near the coast and even the mid 70s further inland. Look at your 7-day forecast. A little bit of a roller coaster ride here as we're near 70 tomorrow. Highs then in the upper 50s on Thursday. Then moving forward from there, we'll enjoy a nice warm up all the way through the middle of February. How about those mid 70s about a week out from now? That will be pretty nice. All right, coming up, it's Tuesday, which means it's time for a new food truck. We check out Bon Appetit next.
We are food trucking once again at Fox 13, one of our favorite segments of the week. Linda and I, we're always blessed with delicious cuisine from all over the place, really. But Linda, this may be our first, I guess, a
Bon
French
appetit,
twist
yes.
on this food here. Bon appetit. Good job. Bon appetit. This is Bon Appetit. Find them on social media, and it's they do a great job. Mike and Jelka, thank you so much.
Thank you. Our pleasure.
We'll be right back after this. Very good.
Fox 13's Prime Time is sponsored locally by the Florida State Fair.
You're watching Fox 13, the home of the Daytona 500 and the St. Pete Grand Prix.
You're watching the Fox 13 4 o'clock news.
Welcome back. I'm Chris Cato.
And I'm Linda Hurtado. Russian forces launched a massive attack on Ukraine overnight, injuring multiple people and dealing another blow to Kyiv's power supply. The strikes came after a brief truce in energy attacks following a request from President Trump. But Moscow says that ended on Sunday, and now thousands of Ukrainian families have been left without heat in frigid temperatures.
All day long, there is no electricity, no way to cook food for the kids. Pretty much everyone is in this situation.
The attack comes just one day before the next round of three-way talks involving the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia. They are set to take place tomorrow and Thursday in Abu Dhabi. But after a year of efforts, negotiators are still searching for agreements on key issues, including who will keep Ukrainian land currently occupied by Russia.
The Senate Judiciary Committee is turning its attention to World War II and how the Nazis bankrolled their regime. As Fox's Mike Emanuel reports, they're connecting it to the modern-day banking system.
NASA is pushing back the launch of its Artemis II moon mission until March at the earliest. The agency made the call this morning after issues popped up during a full launch rehearsal. Fox's Sarah Allegre is live at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, where the Artemis crew was quarantining up until this delay. So Sarah, NASA's been targeting an early February launch date. What's the holdup now?
Yeah, Linda, switching things up now, it looks like that's going to be more so scheduled for March. And that was mainly due to the critical test that they had just yesterday that went into the early morning hours. You know, they said the engineers, they ran into some fueling issues and then cold temperatures in Florida earlier this weekend into the week. That didn't really help out either. But NASA says, you know, this is what these tests are all about, to figure out what's working here, what isn't, and then fix those issues, fix over any kind of leftover kinks tanks, essentially, and just to make sure those 4 astronauts make their way around the moon safely. Now, again, they're going to head to the far side of the moon, and it's interesting here because this will be the furthest humans have ever traveled away from Earth. And again, this is going to be the first crewed lunar mission since the 1970s, half a century. So a lot of anticipation coming. Just got to wait a little bit more. In Houston, Sarah Allegre, Fox 13 News.
Have to get it right. Has to be safe. All right, Sarah, thank you.
Yep.
Well, the Winter Olympics opening ceremonies are this Friday. They really sneaked up on us, right? And now we know who will be carrying the flag when Team USA enters the stadium there in Milan Cortina. It's speed skater Erin Jackson on the left. She is from Ocala, Florida. And bobsledder Frank Del Duca. They are the flag bearers for the opening ceremonies, and this will be Jackson's 3rd time competing in the games and the 2nd for Del Duca. Go get them, Team USA. With a little Team Florida flair there. All right, coming up, Zoo Tampa hit a big milestone when it comes to saving manatees. We're talking with them live next about their mission and how others can help.
And later in our Fox 13 5 o'clock news, it's a new way to handle 911 calls. The telehealth service helping fire rescue crews respond to emergencies faster and get you a doctor straight on the phone. And is it real or is it fake? Our AI strategist joins us again to explain how we can detect AI-generated photos. All ahead at 5.
A fish straight out of prehistoric times that can grow up to 7 feet long and weigh over 300 pounds.
That's a big fish. That's a huge one.
There's just the thrill to it that's hard to match.
Oh, my.
You don't even have to go to the Amazon to catch one. I'll show you where you can do this right here in Florida, tonight at 10 on Fox 13.
You're watching Fox 13, Tampa Bay's #1 news station.
Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park recently hit a big milestone. They released 26 rehabilitated manatees back into Florida waters in 2025. That is the highest single-year number in the program's history, and they are committed to continuing to save those lovable sea cows. This spring, they're going to unveil the Straz Family Manatee Rescue as part of the new Florida Waters expansion at Zoo Tampa. And joining us now to tell us all about their manatee rescue and rehabilitation efforts are Molly Lippincott with Zoo Tampa and Sheldon Davis, also with Zoo Tampa. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys obviously have manatees there at Zoo Tampa that people can see. They can watch you guys feed them and get educated about a species that is doing well, but also that we need to be a little more aware of because they are a threatened species here in Florida, and we want to do everything we can to keep our manatees healthy. Thank you so much, Molly and Sheldon, for educating us about everything that Zoo Tampa is doing to rescue and rehabilitate manatees. Val, have you seen the manatees in the wild? I know that, you know, they gather, you've been to the springs probably, right?
Oh, yeah. I always say it's one of my favorite times of year when you see them all cuddled up, trying to stay warm on these chilly winter mornings. But it does make for a really special treat to be able to see all those sweet sea cows out and about. And of course, like you said, Chris, got to do what we can to help protect them. Taking you outside, how about this view? Lido Key, really beautiful out there. 62, much calmer on the waters compared to what we've seen the last couple of days. A lot of blue sky out there, still breezy, northwest wind right around 7 miles per hour. Look out the next couple of hours. 5 o'clock, we're still sitting right at 60 degrees here in Tampa and 50s through most of this evening. By 11 o'clock, we dip into the 40s. We'll get down to about 44 tonight. So it is going to be chilly out the door tomorrow. Not quite as cold as temperatures in the 20s and 30s like we have seen in the last 2 mornings. And then we will enjoy a nice, comfortably warm afternoon. Tomorrow is actually going to be the warmest here in the next couple of days. And so as we look out at your highs Wednesday and Thursday, we see a lot of 70s in the mix tomorrow. We go from the 70s on Wednesday back down to highs in the 50s Thursday as the cold front moves through, and that's going to start to bring some showers to the panhandle come tomorrow morning. So high pressure scoots off the east coast. This cold front starts to move through tomorrow, but for us, we'll just feel an increase in southerly winds later on in the day as this front approaches. The main line of showers is actually going to roll through pretty late. We're talking talking 10, 11 o'clock, starting to see that rain approach our northern spots. And so most of this is actually going to move through overnight and early Thursday morning. Look at 6 o'clock. Some of you will deal with some of those showers and the breezy showers for the morning commute, but this boundary pushes south of us and we start to clear out pretty quickly through the midday time frame on Thursday. But there comes that colder air as strong northwest winds will be felt later on Wednesday and into Thursday. So tomorrow we don't start out with much of a breeze, but as we get more so into the evening hours and tomorrow night, we will start to watch the potential for some stronger wind gusts, still primarily out of the southwest. But then you see into Thursday morning that sharp switch in our winds. We'll get this northwest wind back in play, and we will be dealing with those gusty winds throughout much of the day Thursday as that cold front moves through. And we are looking at overall decent shot for some showers, talking anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain with this front on the way. And we could see a couple of spots. You see some of those streaks of blue highlighting the potential for maybe up to 1 inch of rain, and that would be welcome as we've been running pretty dry around here. So here's your forecast for the day ahead. Upper 60s for St. Pete, near 70 degrees, as well as still this cooler than average setup continues all across the east. Meanwhile, we've got warm weather out west, and we're going to start to watch for that to build in for us. Looking ahead to the middle of February, we're looking at a return of the 70s, and that's going to be feeling pretty nice after the frigid days we've been dealing with. There's a look at your lows tonight. Patchy frost with those frost advisories for our northern spots. Many temperatures topping out in the 70s for the day tomorrow, and out on the water, southeast to south wind around 5 knots, seas 1 foot or less. Light chop on the bay, Gulf temperature right at 52 degrees. You see that Thursday cold front bringing a 70% chance for rain, and then we're talking 70s for highs Sunday and into next week. Linda.
Thank you, Val. Well, now that the smoke from John Cooper's cigar has settled following Sunday's big Stadium Series win, the Lightning are dealing with a couple of new injuries, one proving to be really costly. Scott Smith is back with us to talk Lightning hockey right after this.
Picture it, Deerfield Beach, 16th century, except it's 2026 and it's time for the annual Florida Renaissance Festival. Huzzah!
Tonight at 7 on Fox 13.
You're watching the Fox 13 4 o'clock news.
Well, the Lightning are back indoors tonight. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. It's not going to look right as the homestand continues, fresh off that big Stadium Series win on Sunday night.
And sports director Scott Smith is with us. And Scott, apparently not everything was perfect, though.
I know. That's some tough injury news coming out of this one. So Sunday's game was great in many facets, but a couple of injuries coming out of it against that Bruins team left a little bit of a sting. So for starters, Anthony Cirelli, he left the game on Sunday with an undisclosed injury. Turns out it's a shoulder injury that's going to keep him out of not just tonight's game and Thursday night's game, but also the upcoming Olympics, which get going next week. Cirelli, a member of Team Canada, so a really unfortunate break for him. Also, Nick Paul expected to miss these next 2 games for the Bolts. What I'm curious about is what does Coop do with that suit now? Does it just go back in the closet? What are the occasions that we can whip that?
He goes to a lot of charity events. There'll be a few he can whip
It's
that
iconic.
out for.
It's got to go in a glass case.
Eventually, it's in the NHL, the Pro Hockey Hall of Fame. I would have to think, right?
It's got to be there.
Yeah, cigar smoke and all.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Scott. Still ahead, Bahama Breeze is shut now. How about that? It used to be a place Scott and I really hung out a lot here.
Did we?
We did there. We went once. Remember?
Oh,
we took had a little date there, a little double date. But they're closing now. We can't go there anymore. We'll tell you what's going to happen to our 2 local restaurants.
Well, actor George Clooney is going to be in his first Super Bowl ad ever. He's teaming up with Grubhub, the food delivery service, called on Clooney and director Yorgos Lanthimos to create the brand's first ever big game national commercial. The ad leans into Lanthimos' quirky style to unveil Grubhub's latest perk: no delivery and service fees on restaurant orders over $50. The commercial is a first for the director, too.
Should be good. Well, Bahama Breeze is shutting down. Its parent company, Darden Restaurants, says 14 locations will be closing, and 14 other locations, including the Bahama Breeze and Darden Restaurant, like Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, Yard House, Chewy's, or Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen. We don't know which one yet. My fingers are crossed for Chewy's. That's good stuff there. But they will continue operating as Bahama Breeze until conversion work starts, which will take place over the next year to 18 months. All right, stay right there. We've got much more ahead in our next hour, including a measles outbreak at a Southwest Florida school and sea creatures who are just trying to survive the cold, just like us. Here's what else is at 5.